First things first, this chair, super squeaky. So if you can hear it throughout the video, I apologize. I'm gonna do a little video I've not done in a while, which is like a favorites, things of the month video. We're going into spring. I feel like a lot of these things are very spring focused. It's a mix of clothing, it's a mix of things I've bought for my flat. So a little bit of, interiors and fashion and a little bit of music. You'll see what I mean when I say that it's stuff I'm taking into spring, because some of it is just very spring vibes. I don't know how to describe it. You'll see what I mean. So anyway, I'm gonna jump straight in with the first item, which you probably, if you've seen my previous vlog, you would have seen me pick it up. I got it from a Shoreditch vintage market. And it is this jacket. This racing biker jacket. I think it's just called a biker jacket, but I call it a racing jacket because it's not the same as a normal, what you'd expect from a biker jacket, right? Like biker jacket's usually just like a black leather jacket with a lot of zips and a lot of buckles and stuff like that. This is a bit more of like a modern biker jacket where it's a bit more designed around protection, and you'll often get like the sort of badges sewn in, like the racing sponsorships and stuff like that. It's also a bit harder to avoid looking like I've just jumped off a motorbike, which I don't own a motorbike, so I feel a little bit like a imposter wearing a biker jacket. But I've seen a couple around, I've seen people wearing them, and I really enjoy the look, especially when they've got like quite a bold color scheme, like mostly black but with like electric blue or something like that. And I saw this jacket in a vintage market. I immediately was kind of like a little bit put off by the color, the lime sort of green or foresty green. In certain light, it doesn't look too shocking. It doesn't look too neon, but that was the first thing that kind of put me off it. But I don't know if you get this, but when you try something on in a secondhand market and it's the only item there's like no other sizes and it fits perfectly, it sells it to me almost immediately. Like I really have to slow myself down and be like, hang on, do I actually like this item? Or do I just like it because it fits me so well and there's no other sizes here and it feels like fate that I found this. So I really took some time in front of the mirror kind of deciding if I liked it. They knocked the price down obviously because I was looking for so long, which was handy. I think I paid about 80 for it in the end. When I bought it, it had a lot more badges on it. It had, the SO badge was on both shoulders, so was this one. It was kind of more symmetrical, but I knew that I probably wanted to remove some of the badges. I wanted some badges, but not too many. And so I sort of unthreaded some of the ones that were like matching on both sides, so I could have a bit of more asymmetrical, and have a bit more variety in the colors on both sides. And I'm pretty happy with it. You can see where the badges were, but I kind of like that detail, if I'm honest. I've held on to the badges in case I want to put them back on, or if I ever want to resell this, I could attach the badges back on. But I don't regret buying this jacket. I was worried I would, but I've already gotten a bit of use out of it, and I enjoy it. Some people might think it looks a bit too practical, a bit too stupid, a bit too, it's just a bit too out there with the colors, but I genuinely am quite enjoying it. It is also very warm, like it keeps me super cozy because of the thickness of it. And yeah, I've had a few compliments on it. People have enjoyed it. I'm enjoying it. Because it's so thick, I don't know how far into spring I'll take it, but this is one of the pieces that I was saying I think would look good for spring because of the color. Like when I go into autumn, I wear a lot of browns, a lot of sort of earthy tones. As I go into spring though, I bring in way more color into my wardrobe. The way I would style this though is because it's such a statement piece, I'd wear it, I'd dress it down a bit. I'd wear very sort of basic tones underneath, black t-shirts or jumpers, white t-shirts, grey jeans, probably not blue jeans. I'm not a big fan of wearing blue jeans with something that has a lot of color because I feel like blue denim is in itself a color. Some people see it as kind of like a tone, but I'm like, no, blue is a color, come on. But yeah, overall, very happy with this find. It felt like a proper vintage market leather jacket. That's what you want to find at a vintage market half the time, is a leather jacket. So yeah, really happy with that. Moving on to the next sort of item. This actually isn't an item, it's a color. So again, spring, colors, bringing in color. My favorite color at the moment is this like electric blue. I describe it as electric blue. It's very David Bowie. I don't know if you know that song. And I know that this color was popular like a couple years ago, or even like a year ago, but I'm still not over it. I picked up a couple items in this color. I had a blue jumper in this kind of electric bold blue, which I really like. I knew that I wanted some more accessories in this color, so I picked up this beanie, which is the exact tone that I want. This was a secondhand beanie I picked up. My obsession with blue has gone a little bit further now. I've actually started implementing it into my flat. My flat is very warm tones. It's very browns and beiges and stuff like that. It's a lot of wood. I think this color of blue goes really nice with warm tones and with browns. So I picked up a candle, which I think I showed in one of my previous vlogs, as well as a couple books. They are books that I was interested in reading, so it just went hand in hand that they were the right color. I put them all together on my coffee table. And then over Christmas, I also asked for a throw, like a blue throw to put on my sofa, which I'm still working out the best way to position and style it in a way that looks good, but I think it adds a really nice pop of color to the room. That's it for now. I'm holding back on buying any more blue things. I also did buy some blue boxes. Yeah, just some D-Ink and Y boxes. Thought they could be quite fun. I actually much prefer the grey ones. They're much more of like a pop of blue. Yeah. I think they're nice. So that is one of my favorite things this month, is that electric blue. Again, I think going into spring is the best time for it. It does look quite nice for autumn and winter, but I just think with spring, it's like bringing those bold colors, you know, like just play around a bit more with color. Sun comes out, plants coming out, you know, you're a bit more colorful in your outfits. Yeah, that's my blue obsession. So moving on to something else I picked up quite recently in a charity shop. You know that I love my charity shops and thrifting. It's this wool jacket. It's a jumper and it's inside out. Hang on. It is from M&S. It's lamb's wool, 100%. And it's just a very basic, but really nice fitting and really nice quality jumper. One of the reasons I really like it is because it's not too long. I wouldn't say it's cropped, but it's just like a really good level in terms of the length down the waist. And it's so hard as a guy to find jumpers that aren't super long. I don't know why. So I can wear like a sort of white t-shirt under it and it'll pop through and just look really nice. And I'm getting a lot of use out of it. Because it's wool though, it is very warm, which is great, but it is, you know, I have to be aware of that. It's thin, so it looks like it wouldn't be that warm, but it is deceiving. So there's been a couple times I've worn it out to events and I've realized that like I'm overheating and I can't take it off if I've only got a t-shirt or a vest underneath. So I plan for it now. It's a layering piece, right? Like I can't commit to just wearing that half the time unless it's really cold. Continuing with the secondhand finds, I picked up this trench coat in a charity shop. I do have a similar coat, which I think you might have seen in one of my previous like autumn videos, but it's much more of a basic kind of fit, whereas this one is proper trench coat with the belt and everything. The brand is Dielen. Not heard of them before, but it is really nice quality, almost new. I was very lucky to find it, and yeah, fits me pretty well. Pretty happy with that one. I find trench coats as well are like perfect for spring because they're not too heavy, they're not too thick, they're good against rain, so I predict I'm gonna get a lot of use out of that. I'm gonna show this jacket off very fast, but I did mention it in my vlog. Is this jacket that I picked up, again, vintage, secondhand. Don't actually know what the brand is. Some of these jackets have like hidden tags. Sometimes they cut off tags in vintage stores. I'm not entirely sure why. It might just be so that they can remove the kind of like label side of things. Yeah, there's actually no label on this that I can see unless it was taken out. But it is this really nice, almost like waxing kind of bomber jacket with a nice orange interior. Like I said in the vlog, it was a jacket that I saw and was like, nah, I'll give it a go. I tried it on and not only did it fit me perfectly, but the style was just something I didn't have in my wardrobe already. It was a little bit more casual, a little bit more streetwear. The only thing I'd say about it is that the back kind of puffs out quite a bit. It makes me look a little bit weird, which is fine if I've got like a backpack on. It's just something I've had to bear in mind when I want to style it, is it just looks a little bit strange worn by itself. But I do head out the house 99% of the time with either like a rucksack or a little satchel bag or something, so it's fine. Moving on to accessories for a moment. I recently have been wearing a lot more accessories, a lot more rings and necklaces and earrings. I used to work in a job which didn't really allow piercings or tattoos, and I was in that job for about 4 years. And it just meant that when I came away from that, I felt a little bit of a sense of like, I can experiment a little bit more now with my style. I bought this ring in particular when I was about 15. And this ring when I was about 15. And I think I wore it for a few months before I decided that it wasn't my kind of thing. Like, I didn't really like it. I was just wearing it on its own. It looked a little bit silly, but I kept it because I just liked the look of it from not on me. It was a cool, chunky kind of ring. And then I just rediscovered it recently. I was visiting my parents. I found it in a drawer and was like, huh, this actually kind of matches my style at the moment. I was looking for some sort of industrial style jewelry, a little bit Berlin-esque, a lot of chains and stuff like that. So I took it with me and I've been wearing it like non-stop. I've got so much more use out of it and more love out of it than I did when I was like 15. It's mad. And then recently I've picked up a few rings to match it. Some of them are from Camden markets. They have some pretty good quality like stainless steel jewelry. As long as you ask them like if it'll fade, they'll usually tell you. And then the necklaces, one is, well, I'm only wearing one, I thought I was wearing two. This one is literally just a chain that I put together with a little clasp. Yeah, I'm just really into that kind of Berlin aesthetic at the moment. Silver jewelry with black items. So that's pretty much it when it comes to clothing and interiors. I guess this is slightly interior related, but I mentioned in my vlog that I picked up a little mini vinyl player recently just because I wanted to try out vinyl, see if I like it. I really like the idea of just having a vinyl playing in the flat without having to turn on my computer or use my phone or my TV or whatever for music. Like, it's nice to have a bit of analog music in the background. And I picked up Olivia Dean's new album, The Art of Loving, which I heard played at someone's house, and I was like, this is a nice vibey song. So I checked out the song and the album, and I've just been obsessed with it. Like, I know I sound a little bit like a performative male right now, but genuinely, Olivia Dean's albums are banging. Like, I checked out one of her older ones as well. I like all her music, it's pretty good. I bought it as a vinyl because I was like, I like all of this album, top to tail. I like every song. This is the kind of album I could listen to all the way through. And I think I wouldn't get bored of it for a while. So I was like, this is gonna be my first proper vinyl purchase. It's like the perfect album to stick on a Sunday morning when you're making coffee, you're starting your day. I just find it really relaxing. So that has genuinely been a favorite thing of the last couple months. I'm talking about it, I could just show you it. It's a really nice album cover as well, actually. Yeah, big fan. So the next item on my list is actually a hair product. It's a hair product that was gifted to me. But I promise this isn't sponsored. It's genuinely something that surprised me, and it's Wavy by, if you know E.L. Booker, he was on Love Island, and he's produced his own hair product meant for like super curly hair or like wavy hair. It's called Wavy. I think it worked best on like tight curls, but I have a bit of a wave in my hair. It comes out sometimes, you can sort of see it there. God, I need a haircut. And this product basically kind of like increases the waviness of your hair or the curliness of your hair, and it also kind of counteracts frizziness. And I remember the first time I used it, I didn't quite use enough, because usually with hair products I don't put too much in because it can look really greasy, but he actually advised me to use a lot more, so I did, and it did make my hair like, I'd say like 10-15% more wavy, more curly, which was really cool. And then you can kind of scrunch it up to get rid of the kind of shine if you don't want it to look kind of like it's got product in. Also just a massive fan of the packaging. Like, that color green is so nice. Very spring-like. And they sent me a box recently that had the wavy product in, and a scrubber, and like a hair rinsing kind of product. Just big fan of it. Like, it does what it says in the tin. Not sponsored, like I say, they did gift it to me, but they didn't ask me to mention this video. It's genuinely just a favorite product that I've been enjoying recently. And I've gifted one of them to one of my friends who has much curlier hair than me, and I know that he's getting a lot of use out of it. So yeah, big fan. That's pretty much it. That's everything. Everything that I can think of, at least until next month, or until summer, I guess. I'll probably do the next one in summer. I quite like doing these favorite things for the seasons. I feel like they work quite well. If there's anything that you agree with, like some of the clothing, let me know in the comments. If there's anything you hate, let me know. I'm really curious. And if you've not heard Olivia Dean's new album, go check it out. I will catch you in the next video, probably gonna be a vlog. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe. I'm trying to like hit a milestone at the moment. I think maybe like 1,500, maybe by like the end of the year. So anyway, if you're new, like subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz, and I will catch you in the next video.